Good morning. So I'm awake early, which it's getting closer to springtime, so a person who likes to be a morning person likes to wake up early. But I got something to say. When I was walking on the porch last night, I had that the light colored blouse on. I was going to dance, but I just couldn't get into that mind space. My spirit um, just wasn't with my body. My body really wasn't feeling it either, more or less. I wanted to, but I couldn't. Good morning, Johanna Maynard. And a comment stuck out in my mind. And someone said, well, Gina, just put on the 80s music that were around when you were younger, and that'd get you in the mood. But I thought, but I wasn't allowed to listen to music. And but then I thought, I'm not that person anymore. I'm not that person anymore, regardless. And I thought, I've grown now. As time has gone by in my life and in your life, and if you were to look back when you were like a young adult, a teenager or something like that, can you hear me? Because I want to make sure you hear me. You realize that person that was back then, that person is no longer in the same mindset that they had. They've grown. They've grown enormously. And a lot of it just over the past few years. And we're not that person that we used to be. But at the core of our being, I could say that we are that person on the inside that we used to be. We are. That person has matured. That person has evolved into the person that we are today. And it is for the better. And hopefully, if you're watching this video, you can honestly say, I'm not that person that I used to be. I've grown. Hopefully, you won't be one of the persons who say, oh no, I'm worse now than it was a lot better back then than now. I wish I could go back then. Well, see, I don't want to go back then. And a lot of other people don't want to go back in then because you would never grow on the inside. You would not be who you are today, and you would not have the understanding, even when you say, if I could go back then and be that person back then my life would be different. But your life is different. It is different. And you probably wouldn't have realized it back then. If you were to go back on the timeline of Earth, you wouldn't realize that back then. This world has literally shaken us to the core, and it's brought out what's on the inside of us, you all. It has. It's brought out the best. It's brought out the worst in us. And I'm glad it did. I'm glad it did. I can personally say I'm glad that these past few years shook me up. I'm glad that previous years really shook me up to the core. I'm glad that I was able to, and you can say this too, I'm sure, get rid of those things within you that no longer serve you, those things that hindered you, that kept you from growing. You can look back and say, I'm glad all of that happened, and that wasn't good for me. I needed to get rid of that. I needed to grow. I needed to be strong to face the world that's in front of me right now. I'm sure the majority of people can look back now in the age that we live in on this timeline. Oh yeah, we've got to be strong. We've got to grow. And had not all those things that we went through shaken us to the core, woke us up, we wouldn't be awake. And we're still not finished waking up completely. We're not. And yeah, Gina, just put on the music from the 80s and that'll get you in the spirit. But I'm not that person anymore. I was young. I was a teenager. I wasn't wild. I wasn't. I was reserved as a teenager, kind of like I am now. Was I young and free? I wanted to experience the world to some extent, but I really didn't know what freedom really was on the inside of me at that age. Truly, in this body on earth, I wasn't aware of truly what it meant to be free. Of course, I had love at the core of my being, and just like you, we don't really fully understand. Even though you're an old soul, you're still learning, you're still evolving, you're growing. And yeah, so I got something to say. I'm not that person anymore. I'm not that person that I used to be back in, say, 2020. I'm not that person no more. I'm not. If one person, if you can look back at the miles, just think of your life as milestones. Milestones. You go to elementary school, middle school, high school, college, you get married, you have family, and then you have all the other things. You buy your first car, you get your job, and all of that. Those are milestones. And then we get to this, a milestone that everybody on earth is going to experience a great change on the face of the earth. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter whether you were ready for the change. The change came. It's still coming. It's not through. This is a massive change that's occurring on the earth. And it's causing us to look inward. I'm looking inward. I'm waking up. I'm looking around me. I'm thinking, okay, did we shift something? Did something shift on Earth? Are we in another dimension? Are we shifting timelines? Are timelines emerging? Is something else here on Earth and we don't realize it? Some other type of, I don't know, spirit on Earth? We know it. If you're awake, you know it. You know there's something here. Something's brought about this change. And some change is prophesied to come. If you are a person who leans toward prophecies and things like that, or it's inevitable. Some change is inevitable, and some change we cannot stop at all. We can stop things, the changes that occur on the inside of us. We have control over that, whether we want to change and grow or whether we just want to stay stagnant and not grow and be oblivious to the world, not prepare ourselves on the inside and get stronger. You can be oblivious, but you ain't going to have what it takes to make it in this ever-changing world, because you're not the same person that you used to be. Back then, years ago, we didn't have the cares of the world that we have right now. We didn't. And we're in this world. We are. Everybody's facing it, having to make major decisions in their life, some that they do not want to make. We don't want to make those decisions that literally turn our world upside down, because these are life-changing decisions. It took you a lifetime to get to the place you are now. It took you all these years with lots of changes that you've had to make, lots of decisions you've had to make to get to the point you are now, where you're at now. And to think about, well, I got to change again. Well, that change is going to be for the better. It's going to be for the better for the inside of you to get you to where you need to be. You got to be completely centered right here, right there, centered, and where you can think level-headed, balanced. You got to get the balance going on the inside of your being. We really do. I do too, and it's a grow. It's every day. It's every day. You gotta work at it. You do, and is it? Should you get upset? Should you get angry at the state of the world? Well, if you want to, you can. But is it going to do you no good? Are you going to feel better when you get upset when you look around, or is it going to eat at you like a cancer? It's going to eat at you like a cancer, to where you can't think straight. And the good part of you that you kept, that you preserved, because we preserve the best of us. That's at that core. We preserve it, we protect it. Are you going to allow the bitterness to take root on the inside of you and snuff that out and squeeze out what little's left of your essence on the inside of you? No, you don't want to do it. You don't. You don't. Even though you're not happy with the way the world is, you do not want to let the circumstances of life come in and literally squeeze out like that and just rip it right out of you like that, because that's what it will do if you let it. If you let those bitter roots, if you let all the, I don't know, the anger, get the best of you. You're not going to be that person that you need to be to make that change in this world on a personal level, on like a micro level, and on a macro level, because you can make a change all around you. You can. But if that person at the core that you preserved, if you're allowing anger, you're looking around thinking, I can't stand it. I hate it. I hate it. Hate's an awful strong word. It's a really strong word. And that hate will eat at the love that's on the inside of you. And you don't want that. You don't want that. I promise you, you don't want that. You want to keep who you are right there on the inside. Don't let the hatred take away the best of you. And that's that love at the core of your being, because it would be very easy. Because I could look around and I could focus on all the bad that's going on in the world, and it's unending. It's unending. Just pick a topic, pick a subject, pick anything that you know is whatever, and focus on it, and just focus and focus. It'll eat you up alive. No. See, this is what the darkness doesn't realize. We see you out there. We see the destruction that you're doing, and we know everything's going to come to pass. But you know what? We're telling the darkness right now, we're not going to let you steal who we are at the core of our being. You're not going to come in and cause the anger at what we see, cause anger to get inside and take root and turn into bitter roots to snuff out what's left on the inside of our core, that's part of us that we have preserved, that we have protected throughout our whole entire life. We're not going to let the darkness do that. We're not. We're aware, but it's not going to do that. No, we're not going to give up so easy. We're not going to give ourselves up completely and bow down. We're not. No. So I'm not that person I used to be. I'm not. As the years have progressed, I have progressed on the inside. I've grown. Same thing with you. All the trials, I'm so happy I went through them. Was it painful? Absolutely, it was painful, and I wish I would have never went through them at the time. But I can look back now, and I'm very happy I went through everything that I went through. All the pain. I'm very happy for all the happiness, all the happy times and stuff I had. I wouldn't trade it for anything. The pain, the sorrow, the happiness. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Because I wouldn't have come to the understanding that's on the inside of me right now, that helped mold me into who I am. The same way with you all. No, that's okay. That's okay. We know there's more stuff up ahead, but we're ready for it. We are ready for it. And if we're not ready for it, we're going to make sure before it gets really, really bad, we're going to be fully ready for it, fully equipped to face whatever's up ahead. So I do have something to say. We're not that person no more. We're not. There's no going back, and we don't want to go back. No. See, we want to face the battle. We want to stand here. We want to put on our full armor. We're ready with the sword in our hand. We're ready for battle. We're ready. We're not going to give up. We're going to stand our ground. We're going to be a formidable force. We're going to give the darkness something that it will never forget. It's going to be the battle of the lifetime of the darkness. As long as the darkness has been in existence, we're going to give it the battle of its existence. Okay? It will never forget it, because it's going to be their last. It's going to be their last battle that they put against the light. Okay? No, see. That's where I think it's defeated us. No, you have not. You've only caused us to grow stronger. Stronger, because we know this is the final battle. It's already playing out, see? And it's your final battle. See, that's the good thing. That's the perfect thing. We're at the final battle, and we're ready. And we're waiting on more reinforcements, because we're not going to be alone. Okay, we're the ground crew right here. We are. We're the ground crew on Earth. That's right. Can we do it? Oh, we're more than capable of doing it, and we will do it. We are doing it. We're doing it. We're holding the line. We're standing our ground. We're not moving. We're not. And we're uniting. We're uniting in spirit. That's what we're doing. Our light's becoming very, very bright, and it's going to be extremely bright before it's all said and done. We'll all turn into great beacons of light that's going to pierce through the darkness. That's right. That's right. So I am going to go, and I had something to say. I'm not that person no more. You're not that person no more. No, 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 no. And we're not going to allow the darkness to come in and let anger, bitter roots, come in and take what's left at our core. No, no, because that's who we are. You ain't taking it. You are not taking. You ain't taking what's inside of me. I'm not giving it up. You're going to have to take this earthly body away from me, from my spirit. But I'm not leaving until it's my time. Neither is anyone else. This army of lights, it's not leaving until it's its time. We know when that time is. Our spirits know when that time is, and it's not right now. It's not, because the battle is not over. It's not over yet. No, it's not. So I'm going to go, and thank you all for tuning in, and may the peace that passes all understanding fill your heart this day. May it be a beautiful day for you to face the world in front of you. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world, hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. You all, please give this video a thumbs up. It does make a difference. We all make a difference in a world that's going dark. Love you.